Lacrosse fan. We're going to jump in the lab here real quick. I'm going to look at two plays from the Syracuse Colgate game. Um, Two sort of games within the game, but we're going to focus on the defenseman on ball as well as the attackman drive and GLE. All right. Here you look at Cuse. They go into their pairs action. Okay, with the sweep. All right, spit it through X here. And then you got Spallina in a position where he's ready to attack GLE. All right. The defenseman, 43, Alex Fitzsimmons. Okay. Or excuse me, Quinn Fitzsimmons, senior out of Atlanta, Georgia, the Macaulay School. Shout out Bronco. He's the one that's matched up on him. He's hung right now. Joey's going to choose to attack his right hand here, and Fitzsimmons is going to be in a position where he's got to defend him. All right. Now, I'm going to play this full speed first, and then we're going to break it down. So as Joey drives, he gets into his body, hands free, able to dot that corner. Okay. Now, neither guy, Spallina or Fitzsimmons, obviously Spallina makes a great play, and to be honest with you, I don't think Fitzsimmons does a terrible job if this is what he's coached to do. All right. So what we're looking at here is Fitzsimmons comes at him and decides, all right, cross check. I want to drive Joey Spallina out. A lot of coaches will say take away top side. Some coaches will say drive him wide or up towards the pylon at the center field. I personally am a drive him up. I think it's really hard to turn people back, but I'm also a huge proponent of taking away the quote-unquote scary area, which is the inside roll here. So, but either way, it depends on how he's coached, but we're just going to break it down and see how he does it, right? So he goes cross-check hold. Okay, but what the cross-check does allows him to be physical on the dodger, but it doesn't allow him to tie up his hands. So Joey Spallina is able to drive up, keep his hands free, and yes, he's running away from the goal because Fitzsimmons was able to be physical, but his hands are free. So he's able to get a pure shooting motion off and snap it and absolutely dart that corner. Awesome play. Now, the shot, sure, the shot is great, okay? Drops his hands, picks that far post, and puts it right in the corner. But what I want to look at is actually the way that Spallina attacks GLE with his shoulder down, okay? If you watch this here, bang, he gets into him, and he leans, and he is the aggressor, okay? He is the aggressor. He's bringing as much pain to Fitzsimmons as Fitzsimmons is trying to bring to him, and that puts him at an advantage. The other piece, he doesn't attack in between Fitzsimmons' hands or Fitzsimmons' right hand. He attacks his top side hand. And because he attacks his top side hand, right there, Fitzsimmons' hands collapse, which gives Joey Spallina more room to get his shot off. Okay, but because Fitzsimmons is in the cross-check hold, his stick head is behind, seemingly useless, leaving Joey's hands free to get this shot off and put it in the corner. All right, but I want you to see this again. All right, Fitzsimmons doesn't do a terrible job, comes out ready to play him hard, takes away the inside roll, which is good. But right as Joey is driving, boom, shoulder down, he's the aggressor, collapses that bottom hand, boom, that gives him all the advantage in this scenario. Further up the hash, hands free, darts it. Okay. I like to talk about sort of another analogy when I'm teaching young goaltenders who might be a little bit fearful of the ball hitting them, deservedly so, it stinks. I like to use the phrase, if you attack the ball, it can't attack you. All right. And in this scenario, it's kind of similar. As an attackman, if you are the aggressor and you are the one attacking the defender and getting into his body, he can't be as physical on you. All right. And Joey does a great job of that, obviously, with his shoulder down here, hitting GLE with power, but also hitting the spot on Fitzsimmons' bottom hand that forces it to collapse. That gives him that extra space, darts that corner. Really cool. Really cool. We're going to watch it again in slow-mo here. Or excuse me, field level. All right, hesitation, shoulder down, bottom hand, top side hand, bottom hand of the stick, collapses it, stick head 4, Fitzsimmons behind him, Spallina's hands are free, take it to the bank. All right, and the reason that I'm showing this is obviously that's a fundamental thing for attackmen to see, also a fundamental thing for defensemen to see. Okay, the difference between the cross check hold, and now we have another scenario where Joey's going to attack his right hand at GLE. All right, we've got Colgate defenseman junior Ryan Bolello, all right, from Manasquan. Okay, but Ryan Bolello is going to take a different approach. He's going to go with the V hold. All right, he's going to go with the V hold. So he goes stick in front on the approach, much less physical. All right, but he takes away Joey's hands, so Joey Spallina can't get a clean shot off. All right, now great attackmen are going to be able to hide their hands the best that they can, but as a defenseman, if you can take away that shooting stroke, at least disrupt it in any way, I personally believe you're putting yourself in a better position to be successful. Okay, and just again, so we can see the difference here. Now, yes, he's hung, but I mean, Fitzsimmons was kind of hung on the other one as well as the ball split through X. Boom, stick in front. Bolello's not able to be as physical in the V hold because you're not as strong. Nobody bench presses this way. Everybody bench presses the other way. Okay. But here he is able to take Joey's hands away, and Joey's not as able to get as much mustard on that taco. And what I mean by that, on the shot. All right. Pretty much similar footwork as Bolello comes out, takes away the inside roll, actually leaves his feet behind, taking away the scary area and the inside roll, but his stick is in front. The only difference is he can't be as physical. Now, Joey looks as he drives, like I know him, Joey Spallina drives GLE, all right? He looks to make that same move. Hit GLE hard, boom, shoulder down right here, okay? But because Bolello's not trying to be as physical, it's not as effective. All right, Bolello takes his hands away. Spallina still gets a great shot off. Don't get me wrong. All right, this isn't a fail-safe. Like, this isn't a 10 out of 10 type of scenario. Spallina's a great attackman. Okay, but at least Bolello took Joey's hands or disrupted his hands, making that shot a little bit more difficult. So, something to think about as a defenseman. Also, something to think about as an attackman. How do you hit GLE as an attackman? All right, do you bounce away here? Do you hit it hard? I mean, even if Joey hits it hard here, he can still bounce. He can absolutely still bounce. He wants to be the aggressor. You get into the defenseman's body, he can't hurt you as much. And then defensively, you got to think about, how am I tying up that attackman's hands, or am I able, with body position, to turn him back, push him away, or whatever you are coached to do. But I do find it interesting that Bolello and Fitzsimmons take two different approaches here. I know Coach Lattimore, defensive coordinator for Colgate, is one of the best in the game. And I'd be interested to learn if he's coaching his guys to do stuff differently depending. Now, I looked at both of these in a vacuum. It's both Joey Spallina, both going to his right hand. I'm curious if Coach Lattimore gives his guys the option, how they want to play it. But just something I wanted to look at. I thought it was pretty neat to see two very similar plays, two different ways to play it, but some good fundamentals for guys out there that are playing either of these positions or might find themselves in this position later this spring or into the summer. Nothing near post. Out.